Good day, Commanders. Rocket here with RPG Gaming. I've got a Watch Your Realms video for your all enjoyment, and it's a good one. There's a ton of good information on it. Hopefully you stay tuned till the end. You learn yourself something and get some more wins in the rest of the Season 10 GVG here. We're going to be going over the Grotesque Fiend, the difference between level 3, level 5, and level 7. We've got some testing set up for that. We're going to be going over BP affiliations, how they matter, how they differ, and what I believe you should build towards, short-term, long-term. And we'll also go into shard investment for current as well as future seasons. After that, we'll go over what I like to call the mid-season change-up for the GVG setups, why I believe it's important, and also I'll show you what I've set up for the rest of the season on my two teams. And today is a holiday here in Canada, so I'd like to wish all of the Canadian comrades out there a happy holidays. And if you're not from Canada, I wish you the best just the same. The holiday, if you don't know, is called Truth and Reconciliation Day. Now, one must think why a country would implement such a national holiday. What must they have done to do so? But that's a story for another day. I'd also like to say, sorry to any non-English speaking viewers, I didn't have the captions on my videos, the subtitles. I have corrected that since and should be good to go. Let's get into it. I will start off by showing the difference. Okay, so you'll see here my Nastia is just a touch better than my Cetrum. Okay, reason is because the Lord gets 1.13, so that's 113% of the base stats for BP. Very important. We'll go into my heroes. You'll notice my Cetrum's a touch under 117. My Nastia, even though she's a touch under 107, she's still a better hero for Demon Soldier BP affiliations. Okay, so I believe you should really try and go for 2 heavy hitters. 3 is nice, okay? 3 is nice, but work on your top 2 first, preferably a Lord, if you have a naturally high BP Lord. And your GVG runs will thank you for it. Okay, so work on their artifacts, work on their gear, all their augmentation. Sometimes you need that third one, like if you need your dogs to be strong. Sometimes you need your tank to be strong, your chompers to be strong, your dogs to be strong. If your tank falls too soon, your chompers will fall. La-da-da-da-da. Work on the first 2 first, because I believe that's how you'll get the most wins. And then you can work on 3, 4, 5. I have relatively average BP, I would say. Maybe some of you out there are thinking, well, that's low. Maybe some of you thinking, well, that's high. This is what we're working with. Okay. So, our guild leader was nice enough to let us use his teams for testing. Shout out to Sir. Shout out to all my guild mates. You'll notice it's Praetus, Valk, Pelagos, Lily, Brokir. The reason I want to do the testing on this team because I believe it's used in a wide range of GVG setups from Gold to Overlord. They might throw Valara in the mix instead of Valk, but we'll go over that as well. And this team is just the most consistent as far as the Chomper runs go. So what I'm going to do is everything as far as BP affiliations from left to right is highest to lowest. So the Chompers are affiliated to Nastia. I'm just going to hit the auto fight, and we're going to go through a few runs of the auto fight and just keep an eye on what happens as far as the Chompers doing damage, taking Brokir down, and then dying themselves. Okay? So 416 KBP is where this team is sitting at. Because of the bugs, it's a little low. Hopefully a lot of you can relate with that. Now, I have to send off the Beholders as well as the bugs in order to do enough damage to take Brokir's, take him down, to proc his passive and then ultimately take him down. If I had 120k Lord, I would only have to use the Abyssal Beholders. Sometimes you can get away with 2 bugs, but I like to have the redundancy, especially with these Brokir Pope teams. So you'll notice this run, unsuccessful. Okay, so we'll just quit that. We'll start again. Just couldn't quite take Brokir down after that, but that's okay. Run it again. Now, it would be nice to have level 7 dogs. If you can have level 7 dogs, I encourage you to do so. They are so much better. I'm just having a hard time spending all my shards on something that maybe something better comes out. I don't know. So once again, there we go. We proc Brokir's passive. So that's good. That's great. And this is pretty much the strat that I use on any Brokir Pope team. So there you go. Took everybody out. You'll notice his health bar just a touch under half. Okay. Sometimes the dogs make it. Sometimes they don't. Timing was bad. Don't ask about the dogs. Okay. This is a Grotesque Fiend showcase. So they were successful. And they had just a touch under 50% health left. Let's run it again. If it fails again this time, we'll run it one more time. Because generally it is successful, but just very, very close. You'll notice that the Valk is equipped with the Wailing Skull. Now, there's a reason for it. It's quite genius. And it has to do with that 1 or 2 dogs that sneaks by. So there we go. We proc Brokir's passive just in time too, really. Second Grotesque Fiend comes in, heals himself, takes him out. And you notice this time, just a sliver of health left. And it's usually somewhere in between 25%. Somewhere around 25% is usually what that second Grotesque Fiend ends with. And I can't test the level 3s to level 5s because obviously mine are level 6. I will say the only difference between level 5 and level 7 is what you can do with 1 level 5, you need 2 level 3s to do. Okay? And the difference between level 5 and level 7, well, guess what? We're going to find out together right now. Look at that. Boom! What an investment though, hey? If you didn't know, magic damage reduction plus 25%, it has to be huge, right? It has to be huge, right? Oh, I did it! Oh, I did it! Oh, there they go! Oh, that was a big investment. I have been running 50 to 100 runs every day since these guys came out. And I want to also mention, okay, the shard investment, investing in these guys right now. I would say if you've already been investing in them and you've had a great first half of the season because of that investment, continue to invest in the Grotesque Fiend and try to get them to level 7 if you can. You're going to have a great second half of the season as well, for sure. The only issue is, once you spend these shards, that's it, man. I don't think they're going to give a reset book, although when the Frost domain really starts to shine, you never know what people will ask for. But basically, if you were late in getting these guys, and the first half of the season is kind of meh, then I would say, if you can get them level 5, get them level 5 just to get some extra wins. But I would save your shards, and I bet you there's quite a few people doing this. So at the beginning of next season, they can just level 5 all the Frost domain. And from what I've seen, even at low levels, with relatively high BP, but even level 1 and 2, they can just walk through a lot of these setups that are basically geared towards stopping the Grotesque Fiend. So you guys are going to see that. So that's my bit of advice for everyone. Take it or leave it. Okay. Let's go see how much of a difference these level 7s make. Whoop. Okay. So BP went up by 8,000. Oh, I'm excited. I want to see what these can do. Because I really hated having to use that extra bug instead of just the beholders to do what they have to do. Let's see. I'm curious. Auto healing. Proc Brokier's passive. Oh, Proc Valk's passive. Oh. Yeah, they're going to run right through this. They're going to run right through. They don't even proc they just proc their healing. So there you go. There you go. Oh, wow. Wow. And this is a strong Pope too. It is a decently strong Pope. I could not beat this team when they were level 5. I could just barely beat it level 6. But now look at that. They cruise through. We'll run it again. Maybe that was good luck. Maybe it was bad luck. Crazy. So I mean, they're a ton of fun to use, and you'll see some of these top guild members with level 9s, which is crazy because they'll really never have to get them any higher than that. And now they'll be farming towards next season for the Frost domain. So don't have your eyes set on level 9s, but level 7s they're obtainable for relatively free to play player. Oh. That's interesting. Very interesting. Maybe that was bad luck. Imagine if they weren't that much better. Nah, they are. They are for sure. That was bad luck there. Run it again. Yeah, 422k. So that's cool. Not that the BP itself makes a difference, but for the demon soldiers, it sure does. All right. Man, do a couple of those beholders go down before the chomper gets there? And I don't actually have to check that out. Not that it matters. It's all the same run. It happens every time. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, there he goes. There she goes. Yeah, so I mean, just a little bit of RNG on that second run, I think, which is still pretty cool that there's RNG like that. So, like that's what makes it exciting. We'll run it one more time just to get our answer. Is level 7 worth it? Will it give you the wins that you're expecting for a couple months worth of farming? Here it is. For all the marbles. But I'll tell you right now, if you do save your shards and then you get the demon soldier, the frost domain captain, and then you get all the rest of them with it, yeah, you're just gonna cruise. You're gonna cruise through setups that shouldn't even be possible. You know what I mean? Yeah, there it is. There he is. Just night and day difference. I wouldn't say twice as good, but I would say, and if you're facing a Valara team in this scenario, say it's Valara instead of Valk, yeah, they're gonna take, but you're just gonna use these shield maidens, right? You're just gonna use the shield maidens. So there it is. There it is. Okay, there it is. Pope hitting hard. That's why that first one went down so fast. So yep, it's worth it. It's worth it. If you had a good first half of the season, no reason spending all those shards just to try to make up for the first half if you got them late or whatever. But there it is. Okay, next matter to discuss: the mid-season change-up. Okay, so for the first half of the season, okay, I went with a team that was a little bit weaker, okay, but more attacks. And it helps when a lot of people attack you when you appear weak and then you surprise them, because it helps your core stay full. So there I'm at 29. Look at some of these. Got 52, 50. Well, that's crazy. Those guys are monsters, eh? That's crazy. I'm at the offense with where we're at in the guild rankings and my BP. I have issues sometimes. Like I say, I have to use the beholders and the bugs. Hopefully, I can mitigate that now. But the defense is 38-6. That's a heck of a good start in my books. However, the jig was up on at least one of the defenses, so I went with something new. What I do for the second half of the season is I've introduced the new healer into my Cyrus team and Draylon into the poison meta. Okay, so these teams I'm hoping, especially now that we're halfway through the season, about the levels will start to equalize and you'll start facing guilds more equal to you. So I wanted to set up a couple of really strong as possible teams. I'm not too worried about not getting attacked, more so than I am getting losses from those attacks. Okay, so this first setup, I like to call this setup the judge, the jury, and the executioner. Okay, Numera is 100% the executioner. Okay, her job is, have you guys ever seen that movie Pulp Fiction? Okay, you remember when the two hitmen are in the coffee shop, you know, and those couple come in to rob it? and there's that one crazy lady that pulls out her piece. And you remember her? If you haven't, check out the movie, check out the scene. Okay, that's Numera. Okay, whenever you last. Oh yeah. Okay, so basically I set this up because there's redundancies. Okay, first you got to get past Brokir's unyielding passive, and you got Numera to worry about. You got Valara, you've got Nastia. I have Valara in that spot because she'll send lightning all the way to the portal. Man, I'm telling you, it's crazy. Sometimes when the enemies are close or whatever. Okay, now even if they take down Brokir, they've still got Draylen to worry about. He has an unyielding. In that spot, you've still got Nastia and Valar to worry about, and anybody coming behind them, man. If Numera ults anywhere from like mid to late fight after all her stacks and all her magic reses stacked up, see ya, you know. So this is the team I set up for my team 1. Poison meta, great team. Next team, I like to call this one Disruption. Now set it up for yourself and play around with it, but it's a really cool setup. Okay, the timing is so weird, just everybody being by the portal there. The new healer is super clutch for that spot, and just a really fun. You'll see why I call it Disruption if you set it up and test it yourselves. So yeah, I guess that all being said, if you happen to come all across our guild and you see me there, throw everything you have at me, please. Man once said, "Show no mercy, for I shall show none to you." Anyways, just have fun out there. But yeah, bring it on. If you guys stayed till the end, I appreciate your time. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope you get some more wins. Thanks. Bye.